So what's all the fuss about? I guess that's a good question. And the reality is that this is a different way of looking at my favorite setup, my core trade, the fastball, that everybody knows so well over the years, has morphed a little bit into something that was originally focused entirely on NYSE traded securities, because that was really the only place we could anticipate order flow properly. It was the only place that we could really gauge where orders were coming from. And recently, we've gone and developed some sophisticated computer algorithms that go through and have the machine do on a universe of about 8,000 stocks what I normally do every night on a universe of about 1,000 stocks. So the algorithm that we put together over the past 24 months goes through and assesses in each market where the fastball, expansion, range, and volume setups are, and then starts doing some pretty good stuff, crunching numbers and finding out whether that order flow is significant, whether the order flow is coming repeatedly from the same sources, does it look like institutional pressure. And through the magic of some very heavy-duty programming, after about an hour and a half of drilling through the stocks, it gives me a list of about 40 or 50 that look like they have significant potential for the following session. So what do I do with these? I could just go and try to trade them all, although that would be very prohibitive given the price of most stocks nowadays. But realistically, what we figured out over the past year was that if I do a second cut on what the machine generates, what we wind up with is a list of somewhere between 4 to 8 stocks on average per day. I'm going to say that's a sweet spot. And they wind up having a really high probability for follow-through. The rules are a little bit different than the rules for the around the horn trading plan in that they are very, very simple. So we're not trying to jockey for position the way that we do with those around the horn fastball setups. And we're not trying to get the trade risk-free in the same way that we do with those trades that we've been monitoring so closely since 2006. This is more about getting into the position, having a stop and having a target, and just letting the trade play out. So let me show you what I mean. For December 22nd, we've got a list of setups that look a little bit different than what you may be used to from what you did with boot camp or what you see in the around the horn plan or just what you've seen over the years if you've been following along with what I do. So here we've got Centennial Resource. This is CDEV. We can see that fastball expansion bar at the right side of the chart. Here we have LNG. This is a better looking setup, right? A little bit higher priced, bigger move, bigger volume. We have Gush, GUSH. This is another good one. This is a slightly lower dollar stock, but you can see once again we've got that really obvious move on the chart. And MTDR, Matador Resources, Parsley Energy, and RSP Permian Incorporated. So right off the bat, you're looking at these and you notice that they have got some good liquidity. You can see by looking at the volume at the bottom of the chart, these all did about 1 million shares for the day. And we'll go ahead and take a look at what happened on December 22nd. Even though this was the day before a holiday closure, it was pretty typical for what we have come to expect over the past year with these. And certainly over the past month, the people who are already subscribed have seen this stuff play out, and everybody is very excited about it. So CDEV, this one, obviously as a $19 stock, very quick scalp on this. You had a 1995 or so entry. Once this got to 2013, we had a target right at that pivot. And on these lower dollar stocks, what I like to do is trail in behind and see if we can't get a little bit of an extension move. But this one, in any case, just a scalp. That's usually what happens with these very low dollar setups. LNG, on the other hand, we can see here that a $52 entry on this one made it to the first target at $52.62 and then to the extension target at $53.60. And those are just floor trader pivots. So it's a very, very easy system of targeting profits on these. We're not going through and doing the extensive dig down that we do on the around the horn plan, not looking for that New York Stock Exchange liquidity pocket, not looking for the places that support and resistance are building up. Here what we're doing is we're just targeting the things on a chart that we know price reacts to. And as you can see here, the pivot lines, always a very, very good place to go ahead and take at least some of the profits off the table. GUSH, another example. So a $29.05 entry winds up at $29.95. So a nice big move. And we're going to see these moves happen again and again. So if you're watching and you're following along with these, the bottom line is whether you're targeting a 50-cent move, as is the case in Matador, or a 40-cent move like the one that we see here in PE, Parsley, or a 60-cent gain like the one we saw in RSPP, your targets are very simple to establish, and your stop losses are just always going to be based on the closing ranges for the prior sessions. It's a very simple entry, very simple target, and very simple stop loss. The stops are just going to be hard stops under the prior session's closing range support, and the targets are always going to be at or around those pivot lines. So it's a different way to trade them. It's putting up some spectacular results. We've seen anywhere from 15 to 20 points per month on average on this strategy. And really the only downside of the whole thing is I am limiting it to 30 subscribers. As of today, 11 people have subscribed, so we have got 19 spaces remaining. If you join us, I know that you're going to like the results that you see. And we are planning a webinar every week in 2018 to go over not only the results, but how to set up the trades, how to manage the trades, and just to make sure that everybody is on board and able to get in front of as much opportunity for profit as they possibly can. So I've been really happy with this new Fastball XRV trading system for all of 2017. We opened it up to some of our most active alumni in November. We let them kick the tires, work a couple bugs out with us, and I'm happy to say that every one of them wound up subscribing to this. So that tells me that we're onto something, and I hope that it also suggests to you that it's something worth giving a shot. I think this is really a great system and a great strategy. So start the new year off right, give it a shot, and let me know if you have any questions. You can contact me directly at 310-804-2248. That's my cell. Or you can send me an email, adrian@traderinsight.com. I would be happy to talk to you about this and answer any questions that you might have.